Hey, it's Mike Brennan. We're back again with one of our longtime guests, Kathleen Norton-Schock, and she's going to be talking about the Michigan Council of Women in Technology. And I know I've seen the sort of the fall schedule. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and I'll let her tell you all about it. Take it away, Kathleen.
Well, we had a wonderful summer too, and early fall, we did some good fundraising, some great strategy. Our new executive director, she's relatively new, Lori Koza, who is a longtime member and who came in and filled that role for us, has really ramped up the troops. And Judy Asher, who is this year's president, continues to stay extremely active despite having a pretty challenging daytime career. But things are going well at MCWT, and we have a jam-packed fall. So let me get into it quickly. On the K through 12, the kindergarten through 12th grade area, we have a few pretty exciting programs coming up. On October 15th at Western Michigan University, we'll be doing a Get It, which Get It, it stands for, the girls named it themselves 15 or 16 years ago. So now I'm forgetting what the acronym means. Obviously, the IT is IT. But in any case, we are doing a summit that will run from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Western Michigan University, called, and the theme, it's for high school girls, and the theme is Tech Her Forward instead of Take Her Forward, obviously, where we keep playing with the words, right? And we'll be doing a bunch of things with the girls. We'll have some very inspiring speakers. We'll have some role models at all different stages of their tech careers to sort of talk about the field and how great it is and whether or not, how you make the decision whether or not you want to join it. We'll be doing something called exploring innovation zones, where we will pair up a girl with a mentor, and they will talk through innovation, and mainly it's a very inspiring and also pretty informative event. So I recommend that any high school girl, particularly those around Western Michigan, who would like to join us, is still welcome to register. And we'll talk at the end of everything about how you register for things at MCWT. And then, as you may remember, Mike, we have a very active program that we collaborate with the Girl Scouts. And that, in fact, again, was named by some of the girls. It's called Girls Rock IT. We partner with the Girl Scouts. And on October 25th, which is a Saturday, from 8:30 to 1:30, we'll be doing a program that's pretty interesting. It's the third or fourth time I think we've done this particular program. It's Coding for Good, and it'll be taking place at the University of Dearborn. Um, every girl is welcome to join us. We, like the Girl Scouts themselves, the age groups are divided into brownies and juniors, which tend to be girls from first grade through sixth grade, or brownies and juniors. And then we have the cadets, which are girls from about seventh grade into high school. And the girls will be working on coding. Um, and for those in the brownies and juniors area, they'll be using Scratch programming. And for those who are cadets, they're using something called App Inventor. The only proviso there is that the girls will need access to Gmail in order to load that app onto their phone or their laptops. There'll also be a section where we'll be inspiring the girls again, teaching them about female tech heroes over the years, because there have been quite a few, right, since the early 1900s on. There is a cost to this particular program. It's only $10, and it will include lunch. And then we'll also have a parent section. So if a mom or dad or a grandma or an aunt brings a girl to the session and wants something to do, we will have a two-part parent section. A piece of it will focus on online safety, how to keep your family safe in a dangerous online world, right? And then the other one will be talking to parents about careers in tech for them. Because again, that is part of our mission, right? Our stakeholders roll the entire gamut of all the generations. And we'll talk in a minute about some of our adult programs going on in a very enthusiastic way. So I do recommend that anybody who wants to register for either of those two programs. Oh, and then the third program that we're doing for girls, for younger girls. Hold on one second. I thought I had it right here. It was new to me, and it's probably been around for a while. It's called Defending the Digital Workplace. It's a cybersecurity event that we're holding for those same girls, the same age groups, for the Girls Rock IT. And it's a cybersecurity event that's taking place on October 11th at Wayne County Community College. So, in the case of all three of these, if you want to register your young lady or your slightly older young lady in the high school range, please go to www.mcwt to the programs piece. Hit programs. The very first, there's a drop down menu. The very first is K through 12. If you go in there, we have extensive information on all three of these programs. And particularly, I do encourage the whole Girls Rock IT area. That initiative has been very, very successful over the last 5 or 6 years. And we love partnering with the Girl Scouts, right? We have similar missions. And we find that we get a lot of enthusiasm from girls from a very young age all the way through high school. So please think about those three programs if you have youngsters, young women. And then the second thing I wanted to mention, speaking of young women and women again of all generations, is that we're having a membership meeting. We've had three already, one per quarter, and this will be our final one of the year on October 8th. And that is for existing members who still want to explore what else they can do with their membership. They may be longtime members and they just need a refresh on everything we're doing, or they could be new members. They want to find out how to get involved. So that will take place. It's a Zoom session on October 8th, which is coming up pretty quickly at noon, and it'll run from noon to 1. Lori will be on that call. I don't know if Judy will be on the call, but certainly the people who handle our membership team, and we have a very extensive membership team, will be on the call, and we'll be talking about all of the things that not only are we doing, but what we plan to do strategically, particularly in 2026. So that's pretty exciting. Excuse me. And then I mentioned, and I've been talking about for several years, the fact that we've been hearing from members for over the last decade that they would like even more programs beyond some of our fun events, right? That help them, that help women. So we started a leadership program a few years back that's been very successful. We have our Connect Techs, which are go on periodically, like usually about once a month, where we have a great speaker come on either in the evening or at noon. They're usually online, and they talk about issues of interest to women in the tech world. Well, we're doing a couple of major programs, right? One of them I've always been excited about for a variety of reasons, and it seems to have gotten even more robust, is Reignite, which is a program where women who want to take a leap from, maybe they're in retail, maybe they're in manufacturing, and they'd like to take a leap into tech, they can come to us and we will set them up. And we have a bunch of templates and an entire learning, skills learning curriculum. And we can partner them with mentors if they need a mentor. And so Reignite is closed for this year, but I would suggest that anybody who wants to take a look, again, go into programs and go to what we call our adult programs. Our we call it something else, but it's a program. It'll be obvious. It's the third drop down under our programs. And you can look at what we've been doing with Reignite and maybe have some ideas for what you think we should be doing in 2026. There was a real crisis that revolved around COVID, but it also was a time, as usual, time of disruption also means time of change, where we started this program, and it's been pretty successful for a bunch of women. So I would definitely suggest that. And then the other one, and it's very robust, and we end registration for it tomorrow. It's being co-sponsored by both Ford and Bodman Law, is Elevate. And it was interesting to hear Ara talk about Elevate, the organization, but we happened to name this program this a couple of years back. It's Elevate Level Up, which is a transformational leadership experience program for women who might be in lower management, middle management, aspiring women tech leaders. And it's a 6-month very high impact training program and leadership development program designed to empower anyone who feels like they need additional confidence, additional skills, um, more knowledge, more ability to get into data sources. Um, I just, a whole strength, honestly, in terms of what they want to do in terms of their own personal mission. So we do end registration for that tomorrow. Bodman is a huge and very enthusiastic sponsor, but it's not about legal. It's about, although there is a lot of interesting things. I know you sometimes have tech-oriented lawyers, one of whom is a good friend of mine. I brought him on a few years ago to talk about the intersection between law and technology. But the fact is, Bodman is doing it as part of their philanthropic contribution back to a community that they're very enthusiastic about, right? Which is the Michigan community. And Ford is a longtime sponsor of ours for a variety of reasons, right? We help them in a great deal by helping provide pipeline of talent all the time. But they've always been committed to helping young women and women of all ages. So in any case, what participants gain from Level Up, among many other things, is confidence, the ability to create their own personal brand. How do you communicate and influence as a leader? There'll be a whole section on negotiation, personal negotiation, contract negotiation, negotiation of your career, negotiation of whatever project you're working on, assertiveness in general, how to create leadership presence if you feel that that's a weakness that you have, strategic networking, and a whole bunch of other things. So I would suggest that people take a look very quickly at our programs, drop down to level 3, which is our adult programs, and get over there. And if you want to register for Elevate, it's beginning to close out very quickly. Today is the 29th of September. So I highly recommend that. We also will be having a few kind of fun things happening coming up. We're doing a Southeast Michigan meetup at University of Michigan. It is open to everyone, whether you're a member or not.
Hmm.
Judy Asher and Denise Taylor, who are big leaders for us, and Fee Yang, who's a great big leader for us and is very well known in the technology community, having been a CSO and a CIO for a number of very large corporations, will be on the panel along with 2 other CIOs who are not part of our volunteer group. And that's happening on October 28th at University of Michigan's campus in Ann Arbor. And there'll be a kind of a confluence between professors and then people who are doing real life work. And it only runs for a few hours in the evening. So I, again, would suggest that anybody who wants to register for that, go to the events part, www.mcwt.org, touch events. It's right there in the events page. And then finally, I told you about our upcoming meeting on October 8th, which is a membership information meeting. We're also doing a bi-monthly meeting for all of our volunteers on November 13th. And again, you'll see that under events. And then the capstone for us of the fourth quarter is always what I call the IT prom, which this year is called the 17th Annual Celestial Gathering, which is our gala. Easily 500 to 700 of the most influential people at all levels of tech in Michigan usually attend. Everybody dresses up. We have a wine wall, we have auctions, we have a band, we have dancing. It's really fun. And we've been sponsored up really fast. There may be a couple of sponsor slots, but not that many left. But certainly there are individual tickets left and tables left. So if you wanted to just come and do your company, and that, by the way, takes place on November 1st. And again, we're having it at MGM Grand Detroit. And it's always a fun time. And of course, we raise a lot of money to sponsor all the programs, the camps, the scholarships, the Connect Nets, all the things we do for girls and women in Michigan.